Welcome to the Dani and Carrie show. I'm Dani.
I'm Carrie.
And this is What's the Tea? Where the tea is today, we're going to be talking about Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Mostly she's going to be talking. She's read this book, and I'm excited to hear what she thinks about this book. I'm probably going to be putting it on my Audible so I can listen to it while I'm at work or just driving. So, anyways, go ahead, Dani.
Yep.
Tell us all the tea.
No worries. So yeah, for the record, I have just finished this book, and Carrie has not read it yet. So this will be there'll be no spoilers on what happens throughout the book, but I will be talking about like a lot of the topics that are kind of discussed, and just kind of my take on how I really felt about this book as a whole. So first of all, this is the first book that I've ever read by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've had other people recommend others to me, but right now it is highly popular, and a few other people at work were reading it. So I was like, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon now, because one, I really like to read books, and two, I really like to talk to other people about books. So,
and we love talking about books.
Exactly. So anyways, I will get right to this. I need some tea. This is really good tea. Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So when I started Atmosphere, I really didn't have any idea what it was going in. I didn't even look up to see what really genre it was. I see on the front it says a love story. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna dive right in. I figured it was about space in some capacity because there is a space shuttle right on the front cover.
Oh yeah, we're in her glasses.
Yeah. So I knew that it was a book that people have been talking about a lot recently. So again, I just wanted to dive in. And it's about our main character is her name is Joan, and I think that this is a love story, but it's not just a love story about one character. It's a love story about many different things.
So is it like just like one, like, is it following like one person throughout the whole book, or is it like different stories, different characters?
It is just following Joan throughout the whole book, but
Okay.
the book jumps between the past and the present.
Oh,
And at the very beginning of the book, there is something that happens that is it's basically the big problem with the book. There's a very big pressing problem.
Okay.
And then you basically go back and you're learning about the journey getting up to
Leading up to like a certain point, right?
in this moment, essentially.
Okay.
The journey leading up to this moment, and it's different pieces throughout time. The book takes place over 4 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
yeah, it was a really nice story, a really nice journey. There was just love of friendship. There was love in like romantic love, and that in of itself was really sweet and nice. But there was also like familial. I'm trying to say that word correctly because it's hard. But the familial bonds that she has with her family and kind of what Joan goes through, it's really like quite incredible.
All right.
But overall, so I gave this book on Goodreads, I gave it 4 stars because you can't really do half stars, but I would give this book a strong 4.5 stars for sure.
Okay, and what's your reasoning for your rating?
So I really loved this book. I knew kind of as I was starting to read it, I was very emotionally brought in to the
Okay.
story. Like, I really, it's hard because I want to, like, say so much about it, but I also, like, want everybody to be able to, like, have their own, like, reading experience for themselves. So I don't
Right.
want to, like, say too much about the story, even though that, like, I'm sure if you were to, like, read other reviews and see what was going on, you could, like, I could give you more details and not give things away, but I don't know. For me, there's just something about picking something up like that and just, like,
Right.
really experiencing it for yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to say, because you know what the big problem is in the very first, like, I think the first chapter.
Oh, okay. So it's like kind of obvious, like, okay, this is what's happening, and then you kind of go like, hey, this is why this is happening.
Yeah, and it's just this basically, like, it's almost like a coming of age story, but, like, as an adult. Like,
Right.
and it really just, like, it was really just, like, nice to read, because it was like this woman who, you know, just thought that she was never going to love, or, like, have nobody to, like, like, love her. Like, she just never really felt that for anybody else, and then just, like, eventually things, like, happened, and obviously, like, things clicked for her, and just, like, seeing her story progress, and it's just, like, it's really really, really amazing how the author portrayed everything. And she did a really good job of, like, some really good intimate scenes with the family members. Joan has a niece in the book, and just some of the scenes between her niece and Joan are really, really special, and she just goes into, like, really real descriptions. And it was just, yeah, really, really moving and emotional. And I have another thought, but I need to drink tea first. This is really good tea. I'm sad my mug's kind of just
Yeah,
hearing
it's
though.
kind of here. Mine's still.
Yours is
going strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, the other thing I will say, towards the end of this book, though, it really, there is just, like, one part that just was like, oh my gosh, and I just was, like, bawling, crying. It was so good.
Oh.
But it oh my gosh, I can't even just describe how, like, well that the author portrayed, like, just how much, like, people can really, like, mean to each other, and how much, like, and it's not just, like, the love of friendship, which I did say, but just, yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like if maybe I might not listen to it on Audible, because I feel like I'm gonna be bawling my eyes at work, and in the car I'm gonna have to pull over. Sounds like it's gonna be quite the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it's not too emotional, like, throughout, I will say. It's mostly, like, I mean, of course, like, towards the end, when everything's all happening, and you're just like, what is going on, and you need to know, and you're just like, all of these things have happened, and now you have a greater understanding of, like, who these people are. And that's one of my favorite things, I will say, about, like, reading a book, and especially a book like this, is just, like, really, like, learning about, like, the characters of the book.
Right.
And just going through, like, their lives and really connecting with them. And the author, Taylor Jenkins Reid, did a really good job of getting you to connect with Joan and her friends and her family.
That sounds really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a lovely book, right, about people.
Yeah, it was a really lovely book. I will say the only reason why it didn't get a complete 5-star was because at some parts I found myself wanting to go between the past and the present, and sometimes I'd be reading and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done with this part of the story. I'm ready to kind of move back on and see what's going on over here. And then there's other times where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see what's going on over here and stuff like that. And the fact that I kind of started to think that, I was like, well, wouldn't give it a perfect 5 just because of that.
All right.
But otherwise, really, really enjoyable. I would definitely read something by Taylor Jenkins Reid again.
Alright, sounds good. I noticed you have a little tab there. Do you have like a secret for us?
Oh,
or-
I do. I have a highlighted quote. And actually, I really like this one because I'll just give some context before I read the quote, because this book is set in the 1980s. Let me just see exactly where, like what, it's 1984. Yeah, 1984. So it's like the book goes between 1984 and 1980 and building up to there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Joan works at NASA, and she's also dealing in a time where there's not many female astronauts. And actually, during the time in this book, the first female astronaut goes up into space, but it's not like part of her like group of people that
Do they kind of like mention it? or
They
something?
do, yeah,
That's
they
super
do.
Cool.
It was really cool.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like historically accurate. I believe it probably is, but
Right.
I can't say for sure if that's actually historically accurate, if that did happen with those
Right.
time frames. But that's what happened in the book. But so yeah, females are like, you know, kind of, women are just struggling, you know, to prove themselves essentially. And they make they touch on that point on like, you know, how women just they're trying to like, they have to work just as hard to prove themselves that they
Right.
can work and do everything that a man can do. So essentially, they're talking about that, and they're talking about how there's this one girl and this one guy, and they're both kind of like struggling in the way that they're just basically being not nice. And they're not nice because they are trying to do whatever they can do in order to be the top and to do, like, you know, be the best of the
okay.
best. And it's one girl and then there's like one guy kind of thing.
Okay.
But one of the things that really stood out to me that she said, the author, is that admitting you were afraid always took more guts than pretending you weren't. Being willing to make a mistake got you further than never trying. Which I just highlighted because I just honestly truly believe that to be like true in just like everyday life. And it makes me think, like, because sometimes, like, excuse me, in my, like, even in my job sometimes, I guess I just like think that, like, I'll be willing to say something, even though sometimes I'm like, I probably shouldn't say something.
Right. I think we've all kind of been there too, right?
Yeah, just being willing to make a mistake got you further than never trying. It's just like, that's so true.
Right.
Just, yeah, like I said, in life in general, in everything,
Yeah.
at work, at home. It's like taking the chance, taking the risk is better than than playing it safe and not taking any risks and any chances at all.
That's so
It
true.
instantly,
It's
just
so
like,
true,
just so true. It just really stuck with me, and I was like, I really like that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good quote because it's so true in like everyday life, right? Like we always play it safe because we're afraid of the consequences if we took the risk. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. No, and that's exactly why that's the only one I really highlighted, but it really stood out to me because I was like, that is so true. It just hit home because I'm like, I will take risks and I will do things sometimes.
Yeah, you like the adventure, and then she like drags me into them, and
do.
I'm really happy about that. I'm not gonna complain because I know I probably would just keep playing it safe. So it's awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, very good points in this book. Atmosphere, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yeah, trying to stay on the surface for everybody so I don't get too into things. I want some things to be kind of a surprise, I guess, as you read. That's my personal experience. Again, if you would like me to be more in depth with discussions, I certainly can. Just say so in the comments and let me know. But yeah, general vibes are really good. I would definitely like recommend this to somebody. Now, like, if somebody was a hardcore, like, you're just into fantasy, or you're just into thrillers, or you're just in, like,
Right.
if the like
kind of genres are not your kind of thing.
Exactly.
Maybe not. I typically avoid these kinds of books because I don't want to live in reality. I want to live in a fantasy world, or like get scared from a horror or a thriller. But I'm gonna start trying to expand my horizons a little bit, and I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that too. I want to, read different things, see what I like, see other things, because like I really only know what I know.
Exactly, and I feel like if I expand a little bit, maybe I'll find something that I really like, and then be surprised that I like that kind of genre.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You never know.
like and subscribe,
and that's the tea.
Do we want Harley?
I don't mind Harley.
Okay, I don't mind Harley.
People are gonna love Harley.